Kathy Jo, will
Yes.
you call the roll, please?
Yes, sir. Chairman Skip Connor,
Here.
Vice Chairman Mike Sadler,
Here.
Commissioner Dan Burris,
Here.
Commissioner Joe Tilton,
Here.
Commissioner Sherry Booth.
Here.
You have a quorum.
All right, item 2 on the agenda is public comments. Do we have any public comments that we are aware of? Hear none, we go to item 3, comments from the public on any item that's on the agenda. Hear none, we go to item 4, consider approval of the February 3rd, 2021 meeting minutes. If y'all have had a chance to read that, I'd entertain a motion to accept them as printed.
I so move.
Second, anybody?
I second.
Any discussion? Any corrections? All in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Those same sign. Hear none. Okay. Review and approve a proposed final report. Start us off.
Okay, Mr.
Hey,
Chair,
I did-
this,
Okay,
go ahead, Mr. Chair.
no, nothing, I'm fine. It
Okay,
just-
what we're proposing for you guys today is that if you look at the PDF document or the first document in the PDF, that document has the changes, the proposed changes that we discussed over the past month or two. And I want to walk you through those changes. As we're going through these changes, where there's action that's needed to be taken, we're going to ask for a consensus from you guys or a vote. If there's no consensus on each one of those things where there's a change that may be needed. And then as you're doing that, Becky and her people, they're going to be pulling together the ones that you say or that you want to send to council for changes. They're going to pull that together in a report. And so that when you take action at the end of today's meeting, then you will already be taking action on the format for the report that will go to council. It will show all the changes, the suggested changes that were there, and any suggestions that you would have in that you want to have an election on. So we'll walk through that. What I'm asking you to do as we go through these, and you decide which ones that you want to have changed, then at the end of the day, you decide out of those that are changed, which ones do you want to have the council have an election on, if you want the council to have an election. So that's an overview, Mr. Chair, and with that, I'll move to change number 1. Change number 1, as you can see, it's down at the bottom of the page. It's nothing but changes of language from our codified. Our code of ordinance is codified by Franklin Legal Publishing, and they put information in there. That information is outdated, and so that needs to be changed. But that's not, it's a change that needs to be made, but that's something we will have a codifier do. That's not something that you will need to take action on, but you need to be aware that is a change from that'll be in the charter. Number 2, if there's no questions on that, I'll move to number 2. Any questions?
Yeah, let me ask, right above that, the last word in section C, is it DNX? Is that the correct term?
It's
no,
it's D or dis, either way, depending on whether you're from East Texas or West Texas.
Okay, all right.
All right, so on the changing and updating the codification, will we just have to send this list to the codifier? Will that be enough for them?
Yes, and they'll just update that.
Just
And
making sure.
we have the approval to do that without going to council.
Yes, because this is something that they will do. They could do anyway. They could do it this year. So that you don't need to take any action.
And the council won't have to take any action.
Council won't have to take any action.
Okay, just want to make that clear, so don't come back
Yes.
on. All right.
No, sir. That language is not part of the charter. It's in the charter booklet. That's why we have to change it. but is not part of the charter.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Number two is the same. It's just cleaning up, making sure that the codifier cleans that language up. So number 2 is the same as the number 3, as number 1. Now number 3, that is one where it is a change. There's no longer Article 1175. Article 1175, that was the statute that had most of our home rule powers listed. Now most of that's been broken up into the local government code. So that is one that would we need to remove that. That's no longer valid. So that's one of those where it is a change, and we're recommending a change. But if you decide that you don't want to make that change this time, that's okay, because like if you don't want to do it because it's gonna cost more money, that's okay, because it's invalid anyway. It's void anyway. So, but it is a change that we should make in the language of the charter.
It's one we should vote on.
Yes.
And it would be your recommendation if
Yes.
Okay, some of these items in here, that if we decide to change and vote on it, is gonna have to be voted on by the council and by the citizens of Katy.
Yes.
So my
Yes,
question
yes.
is, should we vote on this one now? Or if the ones to the main one, where we're talking about allowing the councilman to be paid by 2 different government entities.
Yeah, what
That we
I
know
would
has
say,
to be approved.
yeah, what I would say,
Council and by voters. So if we're gonna
Yes.
go back and approve that, then we might as well approve this to be voted on too. Is that right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
You just go through what my recommendation is, that you go through and you either approve or deny each one of those, and then you decide which ones you recommend be set for an election.
I can't talk.
See.
Okay, in that case, I'd entertain a motion to vote to strike that section of Article 2, Section 2.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any further discussion? All in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none, item passed.
And
All right.
we'll move to number 4. Number 4 is another one of the cleanup ones. So we're asking that no action be taken on number 4 also. And so with that, we'll move on to number 5. Number 5 is one that if you want to clean up the language, you can, because what the language that's in here to deal with railroads are things that we no longer have control. We've been preempted by federal law. So the language that's in there, we're asking that you vote to clean that language up, to bring us in compliance with federal law. If you choose not to, then it doesn't matter, because we're preempted anyway. But we should clean up our charter so that it doesn't have language that we can do stuff that we cannot.
In that case, I'll entertain a motion to approve change number 4. Need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Hearing none.
And,
Second passed.
Mr. Chair, if I may, that was change number 5.
Yes, sir?
That was I thought I may have heard you said 4. That was change number 5.
Change number 5. No, what it was, I said something about Article 2, Section 4.
Okay. All right. That's it.
My fault. I won't be so precise next time.
The next one is change number 6. And this is one that we talked about earlier, is a language: it shall not receive remuneration from 2 governmental or taxing entities. That was, we added that back in I forgot what year that was added into the
93.
charter. 93. That was added in 93. And so there's that. That's for your decision whether you want to strike that or leave it.
Well, the consensus was when we first threw this to strike it. But it's going to be questions going to be asked. So I think if we do this one, then in our recommendation, Art, you're going to have to refer to the state code and somehow or another list the major ones that can be paid, all others cannot, or it lists the one that cannot be paid. I can't remember how it's worded now.
No, the ones that can do it. What I'll do is in the packet that goes to the council in your report, we'll put the copy of those constitutional provisions. Things like Article 3, Section 65. I know it's Section 65. I just don't know which article it is of the Constitution. Can't remember that, but I know it's 65 and it has the dual office holding provision. So we'll put that in the packet.
Well, because we know that citizens are going to be talking to the,
Right.
to the council about it. And it would be nice if they could say, well, these people cannot get paid, like a county commissioner or city
Yeah,
superintendent, but teacher
Mhm.
can't. Public
Yeah,
official,
yeah.
whatever it is. So
Right,
we just
right.
won't be able to
Like in that-
clarify our justification to changing this so the council can answer the questions.
Yes, sir.
All right, I entertain a motion to vote to strike. He shall not receive enumeration from two governmental or taxing entities.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor said motion, let be known by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, item passed.
And the next one that was number 6. The next one is number 7, and in that section there with striking the language that says if he ceases to reside in the city because the qualification listed in section 1 requires him to reside in the city limit. So it was redundant, so that we were just cleaning that language up.
Is that necessary?
It's not necessary. No.
Can you go back, Art, can you go back to section 1 real quick?
It's a little bit worded different.
Yes, I guess you can go, no.
No.
Not number 1, the one before it.
No, it is. You just got to go to the next document to what you would have to do is if you can, Becky, if you're on the screen, can you get somebody to scroll down to the actual to the charter, which is going to
Talk
be
about
like
Article 3.
Well, you have it on that, what we just voted on for the mayor. If you just go to the mayor, it shows that you have to reside in the city 12 months before you can run, Art.
yeah.
But then it doesn't say anything else in section 1 about you have to live in the city or be a resident of the city.
Doesn't say he has to continuously live in the city.
Right.
But that's a requirement. So we can leave that in there. But if you're going to hold office, that it requires that you reside in. But so that there won't be any question, then let's just leave it in there. But
Well, should we go back to section 1 of the mayor and says reside at least 12 months prior to his election within the city and remain a resident of the city or something?
It's already there.
That's already there. If we make no change on this, just don't delete that information there, and then just what it says here: the mayor, chief executive.
Well, it came up here recently with a councilman.
I know, but you have to. But state law requires, and the election code requires that you have to. If we want to put that language in there, there's no problem putting that language in there, especially if you think that there's going to be an issue. But currently, right now, you have to reside in the area from where you're elected from. That's what state law requires. But if we want to make that clear, we can do
That previous statement makes it clear. It says residing for at least 12 months prior to the election within the city.
All right, so
It
what if
also
he gets
says-
elected one day and he moves out the next day?
It also says it down under vacancy. If he ceases to reside in the city, his office shall immediately become vacant.
under section 5. If you look under section 5, Mr. Chair, that's on the screen now.
Yes, sir. Okay,
It says if his office,
then let's take care of it because it's under vacancy. It becomes vacant when he moves out. Okay, I
Yes.
can go along with that now.
okay. All right. What other comments we have?
So go back to
Byron,
that.
Bear. Did that answer your question, Bear, or no?
Well, I mean, this is what you want to take out. Becky just read under vacancy.
And that's what we're looking at. I think it needs to be left.
Yes.
To accomplish what they want, I think it needs to be left.
Well, let's leave it in there. Let's leave it in there. It's just because there's no need in creating a question. You know, I was just cleaning it up because it's not necessary, but if it's going to create a question, it's better to just leave it in there, Mr. Chair, and don't take it out. It's better just leave that in
I
there.
mean, we
Don't
know
make
the
it.
qualification, he has to be there 12 months. This is saying it's a vacancy. If he ceases to possess any of the qualification as one, which only said he had to be there 12 months prior. I think it's clear to leave it in there. Just because this came up in the past, I think this would make it easier for people to understand. But
Yeah.
again, I'm kind of
Yeah, but
simple-minded.
Yeah, it'll be easier because what the language says, where it says must reside for at least, that means you have to reside, and the minimum amount of time you reside is 12 months. But if it's going to create a question, then let's just leave it. Let's don't make a change that'll create a question.
Byron, you think that makes it clear to leave it in?
It does. We were looking at that earlier, and if it was going to the voters and the voters are looking at it, it's like, so he doesn't have to reside. It just brings up too many questions. So I would just leave it in.
Okay. All right. But is that the will of the board? Then you don't have to take action on it because you're not making a change.
I take back my motion.
Okay.
So moved.
All right. Okay. So now we're moving to
Okay,
to number.
One moment. So now, after we get through all this, Kathy Joe, that's going to have to change all the other numbers.
I'm updating it as we go.
Becky's doing that as we go, Chairman Connor. She's making those number changes and everything as we.
Okay,
Okay.
but now we're going to be looking at number 8
Yes.
currently. Okay.
Yes. Sir. The
right.
number 8 is another. Number 8 is also just another one of the cleanup issues.
Okay.
That's it. This is number 8. So and we're not recommending any changes on 8. So the next one is number 9. And if you go down to the last sentence in number 9, that's where we got this issue again about remuneration. So we're gonna need you guys to address that issue. Did you still want to keep that change? You made that change for the mayor. This is the change for the
City council.
council.
Yeah,
I entertain a motion to strike out and he shall not receive remuneration from 2 governmental or taxing entities. Need a motion.
I make a motion.
Need a second. Chuck, second it. It's gonna die if we don't get a second.
I second it.
Well, does this, the reason that no one's seconding mean they disagree? Am I understanding that correctly?
I don't know, but you gotta have a motion to second or it dies.
Right.
You
Because
have-
we've already discussed it, so we're just voting on it now.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
the correct Robert's Rules of Orders, you make a motion, you have a second, and then you can still open it up for discussion and then you vote on it.
Okay, since it's been seconded,
It's been seconded. So now my question is, are there any discussion?
may I ask those that didn't second it, they just didn't want a voice, or are y'all against it?
I got distracted, Sherry.
Okay, that's good. I just want to make sure we all have a voice.
I guess the only one that hasn't spoken is Joanne.
I'm fine.
I
Okay,
know you're fine, darling, but are you okay with this change?
Just call for a vote.
I'm okay. Let's vote.
Okay, all in favor, said motion, let me know by saying aye.
all right.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Chair, we
Yes.
move on to number 10.
Yes, sir.
And number 10, what that's intended to do is to bring us into compliance, since we now, our terms are over 3-year terms. We have 3 years and older, 3 years and more terms. We have to abide by Article 11, Section 11 of the Texas Constitution. And what that does, it just changes the language so that the filling vacancy complies with the Texas Constitution. And so that's the change in there.
So is what double underline, is that what we're adding?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
And that language is basically taken straight from the Constitution, that we must have an election within 120 days, and then unless there's less than 12 months or less on it. In fact, I have one city that they fill a vacancy, so they have an election this month and then election in May, because they have to get it done within that 120 days.
okay. I entertain a motion to accept change number 10 as presented.
I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor said motion, let me know by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, item passed. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if we move down to number 11, change 11, that's just another cleanup. We're not recommending any changes on that. That's just changing the statutory language that we'll get the codifier to update that. So number 11, we're not asking for any changes. We didn't discuss any changes. Now, then we move now to number 12, which those changes, you can see the changes there, changing the petition to go to the city secretary, and that the hearing be before the city council on a suspension.
Entertain a motion to accept item number 12 as presented.
So moved.
And I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor said motion, let me know by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, item passed.
Mr. Chair, we move to you on number 13, which is change number 13, and that's the change that addresses the requirement that we published on three separate weeks, the ordinances, and so you can see the change there. It's on section 8. You can see the strikeout language. We're asking that be deleted as a change, and that you approve that change.
All right, would the second use of first need to be deleted as well, where it just says would not take effect until the 15 days after the date of publication?
Should be, normally it's 10 days if it's a penal ordinance. Where, yeah, it should not take. Yes, yes. If you would accept an amendment to this, to that language where we would strike all the way out to that period where it says first publication, if you can. Because the state law will govern that a penal ordinance doesn't take effect till 10 days after it's been published. Yes, if you can do that one.
All right, then I'd entertain a motion to approve change number 13 with the amendment that's being added to strike out the whole sentence.
So
To
moved.
the end of the sentence.
To the end of the sentence.
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Item passed.
Now we'll move on to number 14, which is gonna move down to the next page, gentlemen. And what it does, it removes that statutory language that deals with streets. That language is no longer in Article 1105B. And so just asking that you just strike the site to it. Leave the language which says that cities exercise jurisdiction over it, but just delete the statutory site.
Is that be part of the code change, or is it
Yes.
something we need to vote on?
No, that's something you need to vote on.
Okay. Then I entertain a motion to make the change to item 14 as presented.
So moved.
Excuse me.
Have a
potential-
second?
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Real quick, Mr. Chairman, real fast. Art, do you think that reads correctly if we just strike that as it just says boulevards and public grounds of the city and provide for the improvement of same?
Improvement of same, yeah, of same.
Of same. Okay.
Same means the period. Same means those highways, boulevards and all that, and provide for the public improvement of those. Or
Put
same,
a period in there. Put a period. There we go.
that's where the period goes, right after same.
All right.
All right, all in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes.
Now we're moving to number 15. We're asking for this change that be authorized for our purchasing and bidding procedures, that it just be in accordance with state law instead of citing that law, because we also do it in accordance with 271 and some other bidding requirements, so other state laws. So that's what just asking that it's recommending that we strike that and just say that we purchase in accordance with state law.
Entertain a motion to approve change number 15 as presented.
So moved.
I'll
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Item carried.
And then number 16.
Wait a minute, back
Mr.
up.
Chairman, before you ask for a call on this, Art, I went back and looked at this section of it, and what Harris was asking for. We've always wanted to go ahead and keep the city administrator to the end of that fiscal year. So I know we were trying to get rid of the odd number calendar year following the year in which, because it wasn't lining up. So is there just a way to keep it?
What you mean in order for it to extend past the term of the mayor?
Like it has been, yes.
What you would need to do, you would need to, they could make a motion and approve that it can extend term of the contract.
We just needed to take out the first odd numbered calendar year following the year in which the appointment is made. You just say beyond September 30th. And then go such termination date is designed to coincide with the end of the city's fiscal year in the calendar year of the regular mayoral election, because nowadays we're going to have a mayoral election every 3 years.
Yeah, but I think that's too complicated. Why not if you just say it shall not extend beyond the contract of the mayor of the city administrator shall not extend beyond the
Term of the mayor.
the fiscal year of that mayor. The term of the mayor, that means it ends when the mayor, but you could add for that fiscal year if that's what you want to. But right now it says when the mayor's term is up, the city administrator's term is up, and but you could put in there that fiscal year. That would give time, but I don't think
been there,
but I don't think that part is necessary, Abraham, and this is why. Because all of you guys, you have a contract. And then in that contract, that contract will say that if you are, let go involuntarily because of this, that you get a certain buyout. I mean, you're not going to have a city administrator that's not going to have a contract, right?
Correct, but I'm saying
So-
the charter.
So if the contract ends the same time when the mayor's term ends, then at that point, then your contract kicks in.
Well, okay, it's always been in there. Harris said the change was just to take the odd year out, and then somehow we got it now lined up with the term of the mayor. Because we've always had to get a transition period.
No. If the original language was at the term of the mayor, that's why that was the term of the mayor. The mayor just went to 3 years. That's what threw it off. That language was designed to line up with the mayor, because the mayor was elected every 2 years in that odd year. So the whole idea of this was to line it up with the mayor.
Becky, you show put up our current one that we have now.
If you go back to 2000.
I think we should go back and say the city administrator serves at the will and pleasure of the mayor.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's a given. Yes, we do.
I think the problem's the date, September 30th.
See what this language, what it said in the one of the reasons what that language is in there was that if the mayor went out in May, it was to allow that the city administrator could carry over for that fiscal year if the current mayor, if the new mayor wanted them to. That's what that language was designed to do. So because that's why you got all the way out to that September 30th, because that was, well, the language, it ended up getting mixed up because we didn't catch it with the 2 year changing to 3 years. But the intent of this language was that at the end of the mayor, let's say a mayor gets term limit out in May, that the administrator would get to stay around until the end of that fiscal year. Well, that language is generally used, but that's now though, now the managers, they all have contracts. So their contracts normally take care of them. That language was to provide a safety net for the administrator. You know, when the mayor changes, then they have to change. And so.
And it's
So,
not
but that's a-
taking this part out, Byron.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, no, it is. Okay.
Yeah, it does. It takes that out.
So what do
Takes it
you
out.
think it should say?
I think we ought to just take the odd number year out and just leave it as it is, coinciding with the fiscal year.
But it does, but that won't say that, man. Shall not extend beyond September 30th, the year following which that doesn't say that. That's not what that says if you take that out. That doesn't accomplish what you're saying, because the mayor's term is that 3-year term. So what you're wanting it to say is that it extends September 30th for the year after the mayor's.
Mayoral election.
No, it's not after the election. It's after it's when his term ends.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Once the new mayor comes in, it could be in the first 3 years or the next 3 years. It's every time a mayor comes in, you'll have a city administrator that will at least go until the end of the fiscal year. And if the mayor chooses to do a transition to another city administrator, that will allow that transition.
But I know, but it should be that odd number year. What if you have a mayor that leaves in an even year? That died. We got 3-year term.
Odd in there at all.
So Byron, you're saying it shouldn't end with the term of the mayor, it should end with the fiscal year.
That's how we've always designed it. Now, if we want to change that, okay, but that's how it was designed.
It wasn't designed like that, Bear. It was designed to then at the end of the fiscal year after the mayor's term was up. It wasn't designed on a year by year. It was to follow the mayor. The mayor was appointed for 2 years. Then the administrator was appointed for 2 years plus. So it's not a year-to-year thing.
No.
So it's not. But the problem you have now, when you got 3 years, you got 3-year term. The mayor's term is a 3-year term. But what happens when if a mayor passes? What happens to that? And it's an even year.
Well, how do you look, Art? You're the attorney here. Get however you want to get creative. Just look at it and say, okay, it was always designed to go 6 months after the mayor was after his election. Okay, and it follows the term of the mayor. Yes, 3 years, just like it used to follow 2 years. I'm saying that's how it was in the past. If the commission wants to go change it to the term of the mayor.
Yeah, why don't we do this language and just say the term of the contract of the city administrator shall not extend beyond 6 months from the end of the mayor's term.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then if you got that doesn't matter whatever at the end of his term, the longest he could serve would be 6 months past the mayor's term. So that'll put that. That would be that. So if we were to follow, if there wasn't a death or anything like that, then when the mayor gets term limited out, the longest that you could serve under that mayor would be 6 months.
Correct.
Which would be the fiscal year.
Correct.
Okay. So Board, what do you guys think about that language? It's your call, your recommendation. What do you think about that language?
So we're saying that if the mayor, so if the mayor isn't reelected in May, the city administrator can work for 6 months after that election?
Yes,
And the purpose of that is to get it through the next, to be around for the next fiscal year,
yes, sir.
budget and everything?
Yes, sir.
All right,
And this is what we're proposing. It would read, shall not extend beyond 6 months from the end of the mayor's term. Yes, sir, no?
Yep, yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
But it's up to you guys. Do you wanted to extend that?
Art, let me ask a question. So his
Yes.
contract, the city administrator's contract has got to align with that, correct?
Yeah, right now, Mike, it does. My contract goes 6 months out.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's not gonna change.
No.
No. No, that's why when I was saying it goes with the contract. That's what you would contract for. But what would happen is that, yeah, if it comes time to renew Abear's contract, his language would be the same as what's in the charter. It could be shorter, but more than likely it would mirror that.
so instead of saying September 30th, we're saying 6 months.
Yes, because if he were to, if the mayor's term were to end for some other reason, it like in March or in January, it goes through the fiscal year. The reason that I heard is why was that September 30th was to get through the fiscal year. So I mean, it wasn't, that's why that language was put in there, so that manager could get the city through the fiscal year without, and then the new mayor could then make any changes.
So instead of saying September 30th, we're saying 6 months.
6 months.
6 months from when?
From whenever his term ends. Ordinarily, that would be 6 months from May the like 15th. Normally that would be 6 months from then. From 6 months from May, it would go to September. But if the mayor's term ended for some reason in January, it would be extended till 6 months from that January date,
As opposed to September 30th, the way it says.
as opposed to September 30th. Yes.
So it would only go.
That's defeating the purpose of having the city administrator around during the budget time.
Yeah, but yeah, it is, except for if they go in, if the put your hand over your ear, chief. But if he dies in January, you got time to get a replacement before budget time.
And replace in neither.
Administrator,
Okay.
to get in time for budget.
Art, hang on a second. I think we're complicating this a lot more than it is. I have a current contract, and all the current my past contract, all the contracts go to the September 30th mark. So, you know, whenever the mayor's term's over, the city
Unless say it all now, say it all. It doesn't necessarily go through that because remember, there could be a time you can be bought out of that now. Remember the language in your contract? In the contract, if you get a new mayor, the mayor can say, okay, or even the same mayor can say, okay, I want you gone this is what it's gonna cost to get you out of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we said, and I said that again, serve at the mayor's pleasure, okay? Whether the new mayor comes in or not. It's just, this was designed to be able to help the next transition go forward until that next end of that fiscal year.
Right, and so let me walk you through this. Let's say this mayor passes in January, right? And then or in February, let's say passes now. There's sufficient time to get a manager on board between now and the budget time.
And they would still have to buy the current city administrator's contract out.
Yes, yeah. You just buy the city administrator contract out and you bring somebody else. And so you don't have to fool with the charter. You just buy the current city administrator out and you bring on somebody else. And so that 6 months still gives you that window to do that. Without saying that they get to stay on all the way until the 30th of September. Whereas you may can bring somebody in April or in May that can do the budget stuff.
They still have to buy the current contract out of the city.
Still got to buy you out.
But that's by contract, that's not by the city charter, what you're
Correct.
talking about buying you out, right?
Yes, yes. Yes, that doesn't.
Can we see that change back up on the screen, please? All right, so what are we putting in there? We just,
The term of the contract. Ooh, thank you. There we go. The term of the contract of the city administrator shall not extend. I thought we changed it, Becky.
thought we had it a while ago.
We did have it.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. It should not extend beyond 6 months. Should not extend beyond 6 months from the end of the
Mayor's term.
mayor's term. Yes. Yes.
So we're saying if the mayor dies, then that's the end of the mayor's term.
No,
Yes.
no. His
No.
term could be
Yes,
finished
yes,
out by
yes.
someone else.
Yes. If the mayor dies, that's the end of the mayor's term. And then there's that 6 month, that's when his term, he can't go further than that. Doesn't mean that's as far as he goes, that he stops, but he cannot go further than that. He doesn't have a right to do that. And scroll down to the next sentence. Scroll into the next sentence. That's what takes care of it. The mayor gets to, in his agreement, the mayor gets to set that termination language.
But the way that's written there, what if the new mayor comes in, can he keep Byron or keep the current
He
administrator?
can.
Or
Yes, he
after
can.
6 months, he has to leave.
No, when the new mayor comes in, the new mayor would then appoint him as the city administrator.
Well, I'm just playing devil's advocate. You can read that. It says he can't
I
accept
know,
for
but-
6 months at the end of the mayor's term. He's out.
No, but the thing, yes, but with all of us, with all of the employees that are appointed by the mayor, we all serve at the will of the mayor. For instance, my appointment, I'm one of those people that I don't get a right to appeal. I serve at the pleasure of the mayor, basically. The mayor appoints those.
Okay, Byron, does
Now,
that
the
make sense
council-
to you now?
It can work this way.
Would it be,
All right, now I'm-
If there's not any more discussion, we're gonna go for
No,
the change.
I've got a
think
question
Mike
for Art, please.
Mike had some, yes.
If the mayor moves out of town, quits, whatever, and the 6 months doesn't start clicking right then, it's at the end of his term, would it not be?
Say that again, Mike.
I think
I
he's
didn't hear-
looking
I
at
didn't-
it like when we have a council member leave, that 2 or 3 year term still exists, and we appoint to fill a vacancy for the unexpired portion of
Oh.
that term.
You're
No,
filling
no.
his term.
No, not in this sense. This is personal to the mayor
Yeah.
and the administrator.
Yeah, so
This
it's
is
following the
different.
term of the individual, not of the office.
Right. There's only that mayor. The mayor is the mayor.
Okay, if a mayor leaves a year into it, so he has 2 years of that he can,
Mhm.
he
Sir,
should be mayor.
Right. But you gotta remember, Mike, that the city administrators is not an office. See, what you're confusing is that the term of office with the official. This is
No,
not a term of office.
Okay, the mayor leaves in November and he's got 2 years left, okay? In other words, 6 months after he leaves, the city administrator's term's up, city administrator's job is up.
Mhm, yes. He has, let's say, the new mayor gets elected, May the 8th. May the 8th, new mayor's elected. New mayor dies on May 30th. You got 6 months.
Or he's gonna have a 3-year contract.
Yeah.
Commissioner's gonna have a 3-year contract.
But
Okay,
the
so you have a
contract,
3-year contract that will
Yeah,
supersede the charter?
no, because the charter, the contract will be in accordance with the charter, because what the charter, what our government allows, our form of government allows for the city administrator to report to the mayor. That's the mayor's employee. That's an employee is personal to the mayor. The only way that relationship changes is if the mayor terminates the city administrator and they don't have those contractual provisions in there, then the city council can come back on a hearing and put him back. But this position is the position that works under the mayor, and that's responsive to the mayor. That's why that language is there. It's not an official office. It's if the mayor decides that hey, he doesn't want Abel, he just doesn't want him. He wants somebody else. He can let him go. Period. He has an absolute right to let him go. Abel gets protected through his contractual provisions, but the mayor has the absolute right to say, I want someone else.
Yep.
instead of Abel. That's what that position is designed for, that he gets to decide. The mayor gets to decide who he wants to serve in that position.
okay,
Okay,
let's go back. The mayor dies the day after he's sworn in. The mayor pro tem then becomes the acting mayor and will serve until the next election. Now,
No,
can
no,
that mayor pro tem?
No, sir. He will serve till that election is held in 120 days. We have to hold an election within 120 days. Under the Constitution that we just talked about on number 5 that we talked about, that change, he only served for 120 days. We gotta hold an election within 120 days from when that vacancy occurred. The mayor dies, we gotta have an election within 120 days. So we got a new mayor within 120 days. That new mayor gets to decide whether to keep Abel or not to keep Abel. That new mayor gets to decide whether to keep any department head or not to keep department head. The new mayor, the mayor decides department head.
Well, okay, now, but our charter says that the mayor pro tem will serve until the next available uniform election date.
Yes, but the Constitution says that when we have a vacancy, we must fill that vacancy within 120 days.
Well, should we put that in our charter?
We have that in there,
Clear.
section 1111. Section 1111 says that when we just amended that, Becky, scroll up there, show them that. I think it's like number 3 or 4.
You said it's 1111?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's probably we just mentioned that in the PDF, Becky.
Oh, Jess, if you'll pull the PDF back up. Go up to number 11.
Hold on. I think it's number 4. Go to number 10. It's number 10. Go to number 10. 10A.
That's 4.
It's section 4, but it's number 10. It says when a vacancy occurs, you fill the vacancy in accordance with Article 11, Section 11.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking at number 10 is under the council. Is that under the?
Yes. And then under 10, and then look under at section 4A.
Okay, that's council. Is the same thing go for mayor?
It's still same thing goes for mayor. The mayor is
part of the
part of the council.
Right.
Well, do we need to put that under the mayor someplace? Or not?
We don't have to. We can add it in there.
And the
You don't
state
have to,
constitution says 120 days.
120 days. Yes.
Well, I hate to make it wordy, but I think we're gonna put it there. We better put it under the mayor too, because that's not what our charter says.
Yeah. Hey, Becky.
Yes.
Change that.
Number
Like
7.
that language. Becky, look like that language is saying 20 days, and it should say 120 days.
Okay.
No,
No, for 20.
if that's the appointment is within 20 days.
Yes.
The 120 is in reference to the Article 11.
11. Yeah, that's it. I see it now. You're right. Okay, I got you. Yeah, it's section. Yes. Leave that, Becky. Leave that alone. Thank you, Candy.
I got it.
Go back to number 7 change under vacancy under the mayor,
Go up.
which we decided was gonna leave that in there. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it says there, the mayor pro tem, will serve until the next available uniform election date. So should we put that same change into here about the Texas Constitution, 120 days or 20 days appointment or something?
Okay. Yes. If Becky go up there, and then where it says
I think it's
official
7A.
title. Yeah, it's under 7. It's under 7A.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
5.
It's number 7, section 5A,
Right. Yes.
under Article 3.
And it should just say, and vacancy occurs in office shall occur. The mayor pro tem shall act as mayor and shall possess all the blanks and powers and perform all duties. And then put period where it says official title, period, and then says the mayor pro tem, a vacancy in the office of mayor pro tem shall be filled in accordance with Article 11, Section 11 of the Texas Constitution. You follow me on that, Becky?
No, I'm not. Hold on. Let me share my screen so I can put
1,
it
2,
in.
3, 4, 5, the sixth line down.
Right. Where it says official title,
Mm-hmm. Period.
put a period,
Mm-hmm.
and then scratch that, go to put the,
We're taking all this out.
hold on, not all of it. Yeah, you put a vacancy in the office of the mayor
Yeah.
shall be filled in accordance with Article 11, Section 11 of the Constitution,
Texas Constitution.
Texas Constitution.
And what does that say exactly, Art?
What that means that you have to have that election when there's a vacancy. You have to hold an election within 120 days.
Okay. And that says it's 120 days?
Yeah, you have to have it within 120 days, even if it's not on a uniform date. The Constitution requires that you fill that vacancy within 120 days, unless there is a less than a year left on that term. If there's less than a year left on that term, the council can fill it by appointment.
Okay,
So
that brings up, Skip, I know you might go through that, but that does bring up a scenario where the mayor does end his term and you're now within a year, you're saying within a year of the election?
Yeah, anytime, at any time, amen. That if something happens, let's say, well, if the mayor has a year or more left on his term, let's say the mayor, that scenario we use, the mayor dies 3 months in, you gotta hold an election within 120 days. The mayor dies, the mayor dies a year and a half in, you gotta hold election. The mayor dies with a year left on his term, you don't have to hold an election.
Becky, you may take the language directly from number 10, so that you cover the
will.
appointment portion.
Yeah, I will. They need to vote on it.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, you want to go ahead and have them vote on this one?
Yes, but I just want to make sure that's how we want it to read.
Okay.
You don't, it's the difference between the councils that you can appoint somebody to fill the council situation like we did just recently,
No.
but you can't appoint a mayor.
No, sir.
So
No,
he's
sir.
got, you have to have an election within 120 days for that. Okay.
No, sir. No, sir. They follow the same rules. The only reason why you were able to appoint, like we just did, was because it was less than a year left on his term.
If that's, you can't point a mayor. You can point a city person
Yes.
to city council.
Yes, you can. The mayor pro tem actually becomes it.
Yes.
The mayor pro tem actually becomes, so
But
it's the same language. If there was a vacancy, the vacancy that occurred in the city council that Dusty Teal is taking that spot. If that had occurred with over a year left on that term, we would have had to hold an election within 120 days from when that council person resigned, because we have terms that are 3 years or more. When you have terms that are 3 years or more, you have to fill a vacancy within 120 days from the date the vacancy occurred, unless there's a year or less on the term.
Okay.
Would it be easier, Art, to put in that first sentence? So in the third line, his office shall immediately become vacant and be filled in accordance with Article 11, Section 11 of the Texas Constitution, except that any vacancy occurring for an unexpired term of 12 months or less shall be filled by appointment of a mayor pro tem or of the mayor pro tem.
I think that's too long. I just I think you break it down like that. So I would.
Yeah.
I just want to think that, they either need to be close to the same, but knowing that you don't appoint a mayor, the mayor pro tem becomes the acting mayor.
Correct.
But under the council, the city council can appoint a person to serve an unexpired term or until the next election.
Well,
Okay.
that's a,
But you can't, but on that though, you can't really address that per se. I think if you just put the language that it goes in accordance with the Constitution, you don't have to worry about that because the Constitution says that the council is going to be the one that does that appoints the mayor pro tem. So if you just say
the council don't appoint him, the mayor pro tem automatically becomes the mayor under the vacancy clause here.
yes,
It doesn't have to be approved by the
Right, it
council
doesn't-
to become mayor pro tem.
yeah,
He's
that's
going to
correct.
act
That's
as the
correct.
mayor.
That's correct. That's correct. It automatically goes.
And acting as the mayor, the mayor pro tem in 6 months.
But you got to take a step back though. You got to take a step back. How does somebody become mayor pro tem?
He's appointed by the mayor and approved by the council.
No, the council appoints the mayor pro tem. The
No,
council approves the
no.
mayor pro tem.
No,
Yes, sir.
the mayor
Yes, sir.
appoints the council with approval of the
No.
council.
Yes, sir. And that means the council is the one that votes. The mayor cannot appoint without an approval vote by the council. You're not mayor pro tem until the council votes in favor thereof. We
But
lived through
the
that.
council doesn't appoint the mayor pro tem. The mayor appoints him with approval of the council.
Okay. Okay. So how do okay. All right.
Am I right
The-
or wrong?
You are right, but I think it's a play on words because
The whole
the
thing is a
mayor
play on words.
no the mayor cannot appoint. The mayor cannot appoint without approval. So if you got to have somebody approval to do it in the real world, that means you're not the one doing it. I mean, it's the council that votes. It's a council vote that determines if somebody's going to be mayor pro tem. The mayor places their name up there, but it's the council vote that determines who is mayor pro tem.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, that's why I say if we leave this language like that, vacancy in the mayor shall be filled in accordance with 1111. We don't have to worry about mentioning how that person got to be mayor pro tem.
I'm just trying to think as someone that's not talking like this, that sees this, are they going to understand it? Citizen Katie, regular citizen Katie, they going to understand that? Or do we need to put the 120 days in there? Because that's what people see and hear all the time. I mean, if it's clear to everybody else, I can go along with it.
But I think if you put that language, then we got to put the whole 1111 in there, which you don't want to put all that in your Constitution.
Okay.
You just say in accordance with 1111, and somebody then go look at 1111 and see what it said.
Okay. Then, hold on. I'm trying to find the change. Trying to find the council order where it talks about 1111 too. What change was that, or was that?
That was just that line there.
Well, I just think it ought to be, I think the wording should be in the same order, either Article 11, Section 11 of the Texas Constitution on both of them, because is that how you changed it on the mayor's thing? How'd you word it?
No,
on
it didn't have the 20 days. Because
Well, I
one
know,
thing
just- okay, I get, yeah, that's right. Of the Texas, okay.
so It is worded slightly differently because it's its own sentence.
Yeah, but I'm just, that's good. I'm just,
Yeah, it,
But it captures the same language.
yeah, same language in both of
Yes.
them. As far as
Same
what
reference.
applies to both of them needs to be worded the same,
yes,
You
Yes.
either gonna say Texas Constitution, Article 1111, or Article 1111, Section 11 of the Texas Constitution. Make sure that's the same on both of them.
okay.
I'm sorry, just
No
pet peeve.
problem. No, none. Look on that, want to make sure it says of the Texas Constitution, Becky, slide down to the council. Okay, 1111 of the Texas Constitution. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
it.
okay.
It says,
Okay, so
Do you
then,
have-
now, we can go back and need to vote on number 7.
yes, yes, we're voting on number 7.
Hold on. Got one over here that's not all marked up that I like. Official title. Air Rotation Act. Mayor shall possess all the rights present in the mayor, perform all the duties. However, we're just taking out about the next available uniform election date
Yes, sir.
and putting in 11/11, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Commissioner, I would entertain a motion to accept item number 7 change as currently written or as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor of said motion, let it be known by saying aye. Okay, so we did vote on that.
I'm glad you are moving on. I thought you were killing me.
So now,
I was trying my best. To.
Art, you're killing me.
Okay.
we're on
All right.
16, right? Change 16.
Yes, still on 16. Still on 16.
We haven't taken care of.
No.
What about under, it says the term of the contract, should it say the term of the current contract?
We're on number
No,
16.
No,
Yes.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't say
Did
that.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't recommend you put current in there because that means as you sit here today. So you would just use generic. The
Oh, you
contract.
sure? Okay, the current contract at the time. Yeah, I'm just trying, Byron was concerned about it. I was wondering if that would alleviate any, because to me, it is, for the lay person like myself, it is confusing. And I can see how they could go, how they could misread it. I could see that. So I thought the term of the contract in place, or something like that. Would that help?
The term of the.
Well, it's just saying the compensation in a written contract, the term of the contract of the city administrator shall not extend. And I think we had this 6 months from the end of the mayor's term. So, and really, I'm kind of thinking about administrators in the future. You need to have kind of a transition period. Even if that mayor wants to come in and say, I want to put somebody else in, it's still going to take a while to get that done. And plus city administrators out there and managers are going to be like, this is kind of common that they have an extension in their contract. So I think it'll work like this. I really do.
So actually, this actually reduces the time.
It does.
it went from the end of the city's fiscal year or up to 6 months. So,
6 months, yeah.
you know, November, now it's 6 months, whereas the way it's written now could go to September. Is that,
Right.
Correct. Correct.
But I think our intention has changed. I don't know if the commission, if we're now trying to think of a city administrator going to that next fiscal year, or it's just going to be 6 months after the mayor. Now, here's a scenario, but this is a scenario. Something happens to the mayor, Mayor Pro Tem comes in, it's within 1 year of an election, the Mayor Pro Tem is now acting as the mayor. That after 6 months, the Mayor Pro Tem could now put in a city administrator.
yeah, because he's become the acting mayor and he's no longer Mayor Pro Tem.
Yep, but it have to, except then you gotta keep going down. If the council's not for that, then it doesn't work.
Right. I think the thing on the table is this: do we want the city administrator to go to the fiscal year end, or we wanted to just go 6 months after the mayor's term?
That's the question.
What's the best for the city? What's the best for the mayor or the new mayor?
The best for the mayor, the best for the mayor is that at the end, that 6 months from the mayor's term. Best for the administrator is September 30th.
So I think you got to look at it and go, what is best for the city and the mayor, and that is the 6 months from the end of the mayor's term.
I mean, that's just a question of what do we feel is that we're gonna have to vote on this. We're gonna ask the citizens to vote on this. We're gonna ask the council to vote on it. The main thing is we're trying to do what's best for the city, not necessarily for a particular person or position, but what's best for the city. And if it's best for the city, then it's going to be the 6 months. So that the mayor and Mayor Pro Tem can deal with the person he can deal with and not have to deal with someone that, you know, I don't know.
Right.
6
Right.
months certainly puts a time limit on it of a shorter time. But then if they don't like then you have to go to the contract to see whatever the details on that to buy out the current one to bring a new one in. He sees that, he may not want to do it. But this is saying in 6 months, what's going to happen then?
Right.
You're going to have to have a new contract.
Right.
That's
Well,
what's going to
normally,
happen. You're going to have a new renegotiated contract.
correct. But that's what happened for instance at the end of this three-year period. If this mayor were to run again, he has started working on an agreement with the current administrator contract.
And so if Mayor Pro Tem takes over, he's got to work, he's got 6 months to do something with that contract too.
Yeah, but if the Mayor Pro Tem decides that they're going to use their power to say, okay, now I'm gonna get rid of this, just because it's not going to be for cause, it's just going to be, he's going to look at that contract, and that contract it's going to have about either 6 month or a year buyout in there. And so now they're going to have to deal with that, even though he has the right, since he's now the mayor, to say, okay, this is not for cause, this is for my convenience. And now you're out of there, but he's going to have to come up with that funds to do that. And going to have to get that type of authorization from the council to do that.
Okay, but Byron, you think this is the way this has changed to is better for the city?
I do.
All right. that I'd entertain a motion to approve number 11 as presented.
I'll move.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Have a second.
Any further discussion? Would the current mayor like to add anything or have any suggestions before we actually vote?
No, I think the 6 months from the year, or 6 months from the end of the mayor's term.
Okay. We do have a motion and a second. All in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, item passed. Okay. That's number 16.
So number 17, Mr. Chair, is just some more of the cleanup for the codifier.
Okay.
So then we'll move to number 18, which is just cleanup for the codifier also.
Okay.
So I would direct you to number 19, which would be changing the city treasurer position to making the finance director, changing that language to finance director, making that department head instead of the city treasurer, is just changing the name to the finance director.
That's because we don't have a city treasurer. Is that correct?
Correct. That's correct.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to accept item number 19 as presented.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Item carried.
Number 20 is also just clean up for the 20, just clean up for the codifier. 21, ask you to turn down to look on the language under social services. At the bottom of the page said the director will be the coordinator of the multi-purpose activities. And it strikes that the council will employ any other personnel, because under our charter, that's not a council duty. That's a mayor's duty.
I so move.
Thank you. Need a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor of this motion,
Aye.
let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carried.
Right, we move to number 22. That's basically clean up language to clean up how our elections are held. Regular election for the mayor every 3 years. The regular election for the one council member from Ward A, one from Ward B, shall be once every 3 years on a different year. So it just cleans up the language from our charter on how we elect our council people.
If I read that right, 1 year we have Ward A, Ward B. Another year we have Ward A, Ward B, and the third year will be the mayor and the councilman at large. Am I reading that right?
No, I think
No,
you're gonna have a mayor by itself, and then you're gonna have an AB and an AB and at large. Right? Is that right?
yes,
Actually, no, I
Becky,
can't work that way.
Becky,
That's
no,
before
because
election.
no, the current mayor will be elected when, Becky,
Next year will be a mayoral election on its own ballot.
on its own ballot.
The next year?
Yes.
This upcoming year. So then you gotta wait like 3 years from now, it'll tell us who the mayor gonna fall with. The next time he has an election in 3 years, who will he have that election with, Becky?
Well, I don't know. It seems that 1 year you'll have Ward A, Ward B, and a councilman at large. Why couldn't it work out where you had Ward A, Ward B 1 year, Ward A 1 year, the next year, and mayor and councilman at large 1 year?
You could, but we'd have to change that. Remember, we're just now getting to these council people that are getting their first 3 year terms. we spread out over about 6 years, getting these 3-year terms in. There are some people that are just going to get elected for the first 3-year term.
I can't talk right now. I'm in a conference meeting. I think I need to get your mother. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on.
I believe we had extensive discussion about this last time, and I think we decided that the only thing that was going to work was what we just said, where the mayor's has his own election every 3 years. I think we had extensive discussion about it, trying to get it to where there were a mayor and a city council at one time, and it just didn't work. Is that right? Hey, Skip, I don't know if you remember, but we had extensive discussion about this, and we tried to get it to where the mayor could be with someone else, and it just didn't work. We just decided that in order for there to be an election every year, if I remember correctly, we had to have a mayor 1 year, and then we had to do AB, and then AB and at large a different time, and it just didn't work to put the mayor with someone else.
So I thought one of the reasons why they went to the 3-year term so that every 3rd year there wouldn't even be an election. And that's not working out either.
They did, but
That's what we were told.
yeah, they did, but in trying to make sure that everyone termed out before it went into place, it got mixed up.
Right. That didn't work. The reason why it didn't work is because they were the commission and the city, they were trying to allow people to get to run twice. So it didn't work. Like Jimmy Mendez still would have had to have the opportunity to run again. If we hadn't changed that part when we did it, then it would have worked out. But we had to wait. That's why it didn't come out that way. Now you have the opportunity now to change it that way. That's what you can do right now. You can recommend, and we can figure out a way where that will happen. If that's what you want to happen, we can do that.
Yeah, it's going to shortchange somebody or extend somebody.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It shortchanges people when you have term limits. And so, yes, it does. That's why we couldn't get it to work at the last Charter Commission amendment, because we had to allow for Mendez to term out. It was somebody else for them to get a chance to term out. Other than that, because we could have changed it right then, but they wouldn't have gotten their terms in.
I do recall that.
You remember that? Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why we had a hard time doing that, because you want them to have the opportunity to get all their term in.
So the mayor's election comes up next year already?
Yes.
So it'd be the mayor, a Ward A and a Ward B. Then the next year is going to be, I'm confused now. The
Okay.
mayor be
All right.
only elected itself at one time, just the mayor, no council members, is that correct?
That's how it's lining up right now, yes.
Yeah. Next year there's only one election, right, Becky?
That'd be
Just the mayor.
Just the mayor. And then the next year, Becky, who's next after that? The next year, you're gonna have what? Ward,
At large, Ward A and Ward B again.
okay, and for 3 years, right?
So who was elected this year then?
This year, we have a position for Ward A and Ward B up, and it will be the first time they are on a 3-year term.
Right, so the what year will they come up again? They will come up again.
2024.
All right, 2024. Okay.
Councilman at Large was just last year? Councilman at Large was last year with one from Ward A and Ward B?
Yes.
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 So he'll come up. Yeah, 2023.
So this year it'd be Ward A and Ward B only. Next year it'd be the mayor. Then, golly, okay.
I think there may be a year down about 10 years from now, well, the mayor will be running with somebody. But
How?
it's further.
No,
It's
it'll
further-
always fall that way now. It'll always be at large and 1A and 1B on a ticket, mayor on a ticket, and Ward A and Ward B on a ticket. It'll always now,
That's
it will always elapse like that, because this is the
Correct.
last set of council members we have that aren't on the new term limit.
I was just
That's
thinking
right.
it'd be nice if you could have the two, I'm gonna call them two at large, the mayor and a councilman at large at the same time, then you have everybody in the city voting. And then every other year, just, well, you'd have from each council, I don't know.
My recollection of why we did this was to not have as many elections and save the city the money from having to do all of the elections when they had the 2-year terms.
That's what we were told. You're right, Dan. That's what we were told.
Yep. But remember, guys, remember, we couldn't figure that out and still allow Jimmy Mendez to serve out his other term. And so that's why y'all didn't want to cut somebody short. You would, in
Correct.
order to do that, you were gonna have to cut Mendez. Mendez wouldn't have been able to run that next term.
Well, it sounds like what we're talking about right now is going back to having more elections, and I don't agree with that at all.
No, that's the extension.
No, this is what you guys did in the last one. We just drug it out over the past 6 years.
I understand.
Okay, but
So
what you can
thought
do,
you
though-
did didn't work out, Dan.
but what you can do though is you could put language in there. When does that at large come up again, Becky?
It won't be till 2023. So will we have
2020.
gap in 2022?
Right. And then they get 2 terms right now. So if you get the 2 terms, so that's 6 years out. You could make a change then.
Well, y'all either change that for Mendez or we'd have to change it for Harris to get it back on
Yes.
a.
Yes, you're gonna have to cut somebody short.
Or the mayor. Put him with Ward A and Ward B 1 year. And then have Ward A, Ward B, and Councilman at Large 1 year. So either
No
that, or
offense.
we gonna still have the election every year.
Yeah. No offense, Bill, but my office sure would like it.
But what?
My office sure would like to not have an election every 3rd year.
Or
Hey,
who we either cut somebody short or extend somebody.
Yeah.
So with the election judges,
if y'all want to cut me shorter, just let me know.
Well, Chris Harris is very popular. I can't imagine him not winning again. I think if we have to extend someone and it's his election, that would make sense.
That's what I think the councilman at large and the mayor, we're not gonna, we're trying to get down to 2 elections and every 3 year not have one. That was the goal.
Yes, that was the goal, yes. So we know we have a Ward A, Ward B, that's, I think if you just focus in on Mayor Pro Tem, somehow getting that extended to match.
You can't. You gotta look at the section of dealing with their terms. Each one of them get 2 3-year terms. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to cut somebody where they only get one term.
A 2-year term. Or, I don't know.
Or a 2-year term.
Well, I mean, okay. How do I line this up? Hang on.
Which I should have done, stuck people out of it and just worked on the council and the mayor and the councilman at large. When you start throwing personalities in there, people into it, then you start, that's why y'all didn't want to change it, because you didn't want to knock Mendez out. I don't
But
want to change
remember-
it, because I don't want to knock Bill Hastings out.
But remember,
That
Councilman.
wasn't by recollection, that was not the reason. It
But
wasn't,
remember-
it wasn't a personality thing.
No,
But you have to remember, you guys, that's fine when you think about that. But who gets to approve this? The same personality that y'all are saying don't pay attention to, right? That's exactly who has to pay attention to it. I mean, so you have to look at that. I mean, what do? You come up and you tell a person who's 1 or 5 votes to say, we know you run for office, but we're not gonna let you run for office again. Because the commission has recommended that you don't get to run for office again. Because that's what you have to tell somebody. Because that's what you will end up telling somebody that just got elected for a 3-year term. You're gonna have to tell them, that person who is elected, to tell them that we made the recommendation that you not get elected for another term. So you can't take the personalities out of it, because those are the people who you're saying that they don't get to run again.
So Art, the only thing we can do is cut the mayor short on the next election by 2 years, and then in 2024 you'd have it all lined up.
Yes, but we just, you know,
But if
I
you
think
with the council,
one suggestion would be, if you take a look at this and see if you can make it line up in the second term of the current mayor. If you reduce that second term, that if you reduce that after that election, you do it 2 years and then to 3, then you may have a better chance of doing that, because that person during their second term, they would have already served 1 term. If it's somebody, let's say the current mayor doesn't run, the person who runs, they already know that they're only gonna have a 2-year term 1 time. Everybody follow what I'm saying?
and that would be an election, and every 3rd year there would not be an election.
Right. But if you're gonna make it so there's not a 3rd year, it's gonna be easier if you can figure out when to do that during the mayor's term. Because the mayor term started early. Aber, if you try to work that out, is that the current mayor, when would you do that? If you made the current mayor's term 2 years in his next term, could you do it then? Would that work out?
Well, you can do that, Art. You can let him term out, and then the next mayor would have a 2-year term.
The first time.
25.
Right. And then let him term, and then let him term out and do a 2-year term, and then see if that works.
So really, we're paying for one. We're paying for his election in 22, and we're having to pay an election in 25 to get back on track in 26 and 27.
Yes, and that'll get us there quicker than anywhere else we go, because everybody
and that
else
wouldn't affect any current people. It just
correct.
When the current, assuming the current mayor serves 3 terms. Okay, well, 3 total terms, 2
3-year terms.
2 3-year terms.
Yes.
Then the next mayor would only be able to allow to do a 2-year term, and
One.
then be eligible for 1 3-year term.
3-year term. Yes.
And that would put it to where we'd have Ward A, Ward B, councilman at large 1 year, Ward A, Ward B, and the mayor the other year.
Yes.
You're sure?
So by 2027, you would have corrected everything.
You charted it out, you're positive.
I'm charting it out.
All right, now how,
And once you finally get there, you're there. So you didn't want to do it by doing it in 22, knowing it's a 2-year term. In 25, you pick it up. So you either do it in 22 and it comes clean in 24, you do it in 25 and it comes clean in 27.
I would say do it now. If you're gonna do it, don't wait and make it. I mean, why postpone it?
So then that'll be 22.
Yes, 2022.
Yeah, but Bill, but I can't go, well, here's my objection to that. The citizens of Katy elected you for a 3-year term.
That's right.
I don't think we can cut you short.
We're not.
You could. No, we're not.
No, he's saying the next mayoral election
Will be
in 2022.
And that'll be for 2 years.
Would that put it, would that put it in the cycle then?
Yes.
Where we'd have councilman at large in Ward A and Ward B and the mayor in Ward A and Ward B? In what year?
It's the fastest track.
Yes.
It's the fastest track to get it back to what it was intended to
Correct.
be.
That, y'all keep saying what it was intended to be, and that's not correct. So let's not say that.
No,
Well,
Art,
the
that's what
intention
we-
was
guess-
to
that's
only
what
have
we were
two
told.
election 2 times. and
No,
there's
that
not
was
been an
not
election.
what you were told. When you pull that tape on that was exactly that's what you argued originally, but that wasn't what you were told. And when you pull that tape, you will see that wasn't what you were told. That was what the argument was originally, but that was not what you were told, Mike. And
What
and
we
you led some of that
were
discussion.
told at the time was it was inconvenient for the councilman and the candidates to run that often. Remember?
Yes. That's
Yeah.
why they requested it. They didn't care as much about the city not running an election every year. It was for them to be better servants because it takes time to onboard. They had to,
Yeah.
be a candidate, all of that, and it detracts from the job. So the real intent was to give them a longer term
Longer
for better
term.
service.
100% correct.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. For them to do 3 years, 2 3-year terms instead of 3 2-year terms.
That is correct.
So they could serve longer. And it wasn't about that trying to have less elections.
Yeah, and our office is glad to run an election every year unless we get to cancel. I mean, it always has.
Yeah,
Right.
but so
Would we be better than having the mayor and the councilman at large run that one? Or not have election every 3rd year?
Becky, it makes your life easy. I mean, your staff's life, you're able to serve the city better if you could get a 3rd year off of running an election. Is that correct?
No, that is correct. And it does save the city money. I mean, not a
But here's where I'm gonna
exorbitant amount of
disagree
money,
with
but
that, okay? Our council, well, that's right. Our elections are held in May, not November.
right,
When's the school boards, May or November?
May.
So I think that what would happen if we have 1 year where we don't have an election, there'd be fewer people in the city of Katy voting for the school board. Because they're gonna come out and vote for the city and then go vote, for the school board. I think there'd be fewer representations from the citizens of Katy on the school board election if we don't have a city election at the same time.
But they're not held at the same place.
On election day, Mike, yeah, we do have KISD here at City Hall.
Here we go.
That's true. I apologize.
Yeah.
You are correct.
So we're gonna have to have an election anyway.
No,
The school board's gonna have one.
It's different though, because they conduct their own election. We were just a polling place. But I'll be honest, I think it's fine the way that it is. Sure, would we like to have every 3rd year off? Who wouldn't want less duties every 3rd year? But we're happy to do it. It's always been that way. I think right now, I mean, it's the way that it's running. Are there any advantages to having the mayor on his own ballot part?
We had extensive discussions on the tenure being 3 years, in that it allowed the individual who was elected to have adequate time to get on board and more time to fully be able to serve the role anticipated. I don't understand why we're talking about this at all, very candidly, because that was the lot. Well, I guess maybe, no, I do understand why we're talking about it, but the intention was solely to allow the elected officials more time to be effective in their roles, in their elected roles. And that was the predominant factor of discussion. And then we just had to work out the mathematics of it, okay? With fairness for all. I still reject the idea that personalities were involved at all, but that's
And I'd
my
like to-
reflection.
I think it would be confusing to vote on this, honestly. I mean, to vote to reduce someone for a one term, but then go back to 3-year terms. I think that would be confusing as a voter. Like, why? They're going to want to know why, and we're limited in what we can tell them.
Well, my preference would be to have the councilman at large and the mayor at one time, but if the rest of the commission doesn't want to do that, we can leave it the way it's written. And just have a mayor's election one time, and only the mayor would be running.
It does increase, well, not necessarily. I was going to say it might increase the likelihood of canceling if they didn't draw an opponent, but
That's true. No, that is true. And with the incumbent there, you just never know if you're going to throw an opponent or not. But we could not have an election if somebody doesn't run. So that would be the only time, because your odds of the other ones is A, B, and council at large are A, B. So we still might be able to accomplish it then by not having an election if the incumbent mayor does not throw an opponent.
yes. I'm sorry, I got pulled away. So we're still talking about number 22, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And there's been no vote on these changes yet.
No,
Okay.
because I made the mistake of thinking we ought to have the mayor pro tem and the mayor, basically the whole city people in one election. And that didn't go over. So then in that case, then I back up and entertain a motion to accept the changes on number 22 as presented.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor said motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. Motion carried.
Next, Mr. Chair, we go to number 23, change number 23. And what that is in runoffs, it just says, it just makes the language so it's in accordance with state law for the runoff. And then the only other change, it just puts it cites the Texas election code instead of giving the section. But it just like runoffs are going to be held in accordance with state law.
And then a code, okay. But we do need to vote on that portion
Yes.
of it then, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We need to vote on it. So that part that you see that's stricken and had double underline, that part, we have to vote on that.
And then what's marked
The
out?
part
Okay.
down at the bottom, we don't have to worry about.
Okay, I entertain a motion to accept item number 23 as presented.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, item passed.
Right, number 24, there's no recommendations on that. That's just cleanup for the codified.
Code, okay.
Okay, under 2025, that's a cleanup language, but on B, we need to remove B. Because the they're not appointed by the mayor. Those election officials are not. That just doesn't happen. Sometime we appoint them. Sometime like in November, the county appoints them. So
Okay.
that's
I
why.
entertain a
Mr.
motion to approve item 25 as presented.
So moved.
Second? Anyone?
Second.
All in favor of said motion, let it be known by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, item passed. Item 26.
26 is another one that you could vote on, but it's just to bring it into compliance with the law of the state election code instead of citing a specific title in the election code, because that gets moved around. So if you just vote, we would delete that language. We'd go to a period where right after election code.
Okay, entertain a motion to accept item number 26 as presented.
So
20,
moved.
Any opposed? Hearing none, item pass.
number 27 is one that we're not asking for any change. It's a cleanup from the codified.
Okay, it's a code. Okay.
All right, number 28, that's the one where we have to put the language in there, say at a next regular or special election. So when you're doing initiative, because when you gotta try to put those dates, and that doesn't match with what the election laws do. So you
Hey,
just say
guys,
at the next
I'm
regular
gonna
or
have to
special election.
leave.
Okay, entertain a motion to accept item number 28 as presented.
So moved.
Any second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye.
Uh,
Those opposed, same sign. Hearing none, item passed. Thank you.
29, that's one we're just
Hey,
cleaning up.
guys, I'm gonna have to leave. I've got another meeting I have to be at, so you'll still have a quorum without me.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Well, we're gonna miss
Right.
you.
Right,
Sure.
29 is a cleanup language. It just changes the general election to regular election, and it deletes those dates because they're not in compliance with how we have elections. So just trying to clean that up.
Okay. Entertain a motion to accept change item number 29 as presented.
I so moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of said motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, item passed. Item 30.
No, item 30 is just one we're not asking for any action on. That's clean up from with the codifier. That's 30 and 31, but just 31 and 32. There's
And
just that's just
33.
33 also. So if you move down to number 34, that's where we're asking you to delete that section with the taxation. The department and that language there talks about the Department of Taxation with the assessor collector. We contract out those duties, and almost 90% of the other people contract out those duties.
Okay, entertain a motion to accept item number 34 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Hearing none, item passed. I gotta take a
And-
break. Chuck,
Okay,
Mike, I'm sorry. Can you take over for about a few minutes here?
Skip,
Absolutely.
I just need 1 minute. I have a minute, another meeting that I have to attend. And I would just like to take this opportunity to thank every one of you for your service and your dedication to the city. Everyone graciously fell in line with this and committed to be on this committee, and we are commissioned. I really do appreciate all your work and all your time you put in this. I know it's an ungrateful job, but it's not to me. So thank you all very much for participating in this. You've done an excellent job, and we'll quit talking and let y'all go back to your business. But I do thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate
Thank you,
you.
Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate it. All right.
May I ask a question? Are we going to try to see this all the way through? Because we're on page 22 out of 127.
No, we're not, we don't have to go to 127. What you're gonna, we're going down to page, it's about 30, 35.
Okay. So I think I need a little break too.
Okay, all right.
Are we taking a break, everybody?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
How
ready to
much-
go now.
All right, how many, we're on number what, 33?
No, 33 and 34 is already passed.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah, we're on 35 and we got like 50. But some of them, you're not gonna really do. Some of them are just cleanups.
Well, you're just gonna have to explain it better, Art, so we can get on through with it.
I know, but
We're talking too
the
much
thing,
legalistic stuff here now.
I'm trying. The thing about it is that the people, they won't be able to say, you guys didn't go through it. Nobody's gonna be able to say y'all rubber stamp. That's for sure. They're not gonna be able to say that either y'all rubber stamp what staff did or what council did, because one thing was sure, y'all went through it word by word.
What's the quorum? 3 or 4?
We got 5 on the board, Kathy Jo.
Yep.
Kathy Jo.
Yes,
5,
sir.
3
Yes,
is a
sir.
quorum.
5 on the board.
3 is a quorum.
Okay. So was somebody else having to leave anytime soon? I thought, okay, let's go. We're on 35.
Well, 30.
Somebody requested a break. Somebody else requested a break, I
Well,
thought.
she's back now.
Oh, okay. Let's roll.
Okay, so on 35, that's a change that's been requested. That's the appointment of the tax assessor collector. So we contract that out, but we still need that language. We gotta have one. So let's just put that language in there. And it also says that we can enter into an agreement with the governing county to assess and collect the taxes on its behalf.
Okay, entertain a motion to accept item number 3 as presented.
So
35,
moved.
I'm sorry, 35.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor said motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay,
Okay, now this one, we're gonna go all the way down from number 36, all the way down to 41. And what that is, we're asking that those provisions be deleted. 'Cause that is not the way property is, taxes are assessed in this state any longer.
so we're basically, okay,
Yeah, that the methods that set out in the charter, that's not the way it's done anymore.
so we're gonna have the power to tax.
We have the power to tax.
Everything
Have-
else
Yes,
is gonna be deleted.
correct.
Do we get down to 42 then?
Yeah, we'll get down to 42.
All right, I'd entertain a motion that we accept and pass items number 36 through 41 as presented.
So I move.
Second,
Second.
if you want any discussion, take another break. All in favor of this motion, let it be known by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? They all pass.
On number 42, it just changes the language from that the code used to be called the Texas Property Tax Code. Now it's just called the Texas Tax Code, where the property tax are included in there. But so it's just amending the language from the Texas Property Tax Code to the Texas Tax Code.
And the word effective.
Yeah, and effective, because we used to do effective tax rates. Now they got a different language for what the tax rate is now.
Okay. All in favor, excuse me, I entertain a motion to accept change number 42 as presented.
So move.
Second,
Second.
discussion. All in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye.
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 Those opposed by the same sign. Hearing none, item passed.
Okay, and now when we look on 43, it's one to change. It's called the Board of Equalization. We don't have a Board of Equalization anymore since '87. They got rid of the Board of Equalization in '87.
Hold on, wait a minute.
That
I think 43 is just changing the section number.
Yeah.
Is that right?
no, sir. Go down to C.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
Oh, okay.
It changed the section number, but C, it gets rid of the Board of Equalization.
okay, I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
All right, entertain a motion to accept change number 43 as presented.
So move.
Second, anybody?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you again. We'll get through before nightfall.
Yeah, under yeah, hopefully. Under number 44, the request is just to delete that because the Waller County Appraisal District is in operation.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm just making a note on some of these
Yes.
things. Okay. I entertain a motion to accept change number 44 as presented.
So move.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. Any discussion? All in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, hearing none. Item 45.
45 is changing where it says a general law city. We are a home rule city, which is why we have a charter. So under this franchise section, it says the city retains and reserve all rights granted to it, reserved by it as a general law city. No, we are a home rule city to regulate utilities. So that just cleans that language up.
That should have been changed when it was first written. That's my fault.
Yeah.
I apologize for that.
I don't know how I missed that. I read this thing at least 3 other times since then, and I didn't miss it till this time. So
Well, okay. All in favor of change item number 45, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item passed.
Who made the
46.
motion?
Yeah, I don't think we made a motion on that.
There-
Steve.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did. You just didn't hear it. Mike made it and you seconded it, Sharon.
Okay.
All
but where's the vote? On 46, that's just to change, to add the caption of the ordinance. At the last charter commission moved to change it, so we didn't have to read it 3 times. This just cleans up the language, so we just read the caption 3 times.
I so move.
Who did? We ain't called for the motion yet. Don't jump the gun. Come
I'm
on.
trying to help you, Chairman.
Golly. Entertain the motion, to accept item number 46 as presented. Mike made the motion. Dan, are you
Yes,
still
sir.
there?
Yes,
Won't you second this one? Sherry's getting tired of seconding.
I'll second.
You did good. All in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, 47. Go to 47.
All right, on 47, that's just
No.
a cleanup for the codifier. Same thing with 48. Those is 48. Same thing with 49. That's codifier cleanup. So that moves us to the number 50. And what would ask for the language there, to put the city council have the power to designate by ordinance one or more newspapers of general circulation as the official newspaper of the city. And that allows us to if we can get a newspaper where we can run stuff more than just that once a week, in case we have to publish items, get something published in a newspaper, we can designate a paper that's useful more than once a week.
Okay. Entertain a motion to accept item number 50 as
I move.
presented.
So move.
You can go,
Second.
sir. Or did Dan beat you? Dan, did you second that?
I did.
Thank you, sir. All in favor of said motion, that'd be known by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? None. Passed.
All right, the next provision is one that just brings our claims provision, our notice of claims under the Texas Civil Practice and Remedies Code. It just brings it into compliance, up to date. That the language that we had was old language, as you can see, that it's stricken, and it brings that language into compliance with the Texas Civil Practice and Remedies Code, Section 101, which is the Tort Claims Act.
And then do some of the coding stuff at the end, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sherry, this is a good one for you to make a motion to approve item number 51.
So moved.
Thank you. Need a second from one of you guys.
Second.
Thank you, Dan. All in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, item passed.
All right, 52 and 50, 53 and 54 are just codification cleanups.
Okay,
55 is basically 55 and 56 and 57. That's just language cleaning up from the old charter is what it does. It just says any of the laws that we had before we adopted the charter, they carry into effect. We don't need that. Then the 56 is about the interim government while we're waiting on the charter to be adopted. We don't need that. That's unnecessary. So those we're asking that you clean that by deleting that. We don't need that in our chart.
55 and 56?
It's 55, 56. Yes,
55 and 56.
55 and 56.
All right, entertain a motion to approve items 55 and 56 as presented, please.
So
Don't
move.
everybody jump in there at once.
So move.
Thank you, Mike. Sherry, you gonna second that one? Thank you, appreciate it. All in favor of said motion, they be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay.
Item passed. Okay, we're getting on. We're gonna finish before we get through tonight.
All right,
57.
57, that deals with cleaning that up from the codifier, and then the section number. So it cleans up the section number and the codifier. So I don't think you don't need to make an action on that.
Okay, and when we vote on these other items, where she's like on this one, changing from section 11 to section 9, we don't have to vote on that because by taking other items out, that's automatically done that. Okay,
Yes.
57, 58. Code.
All right. 58 is that's just the code. That's just
Right.
the code change. It's a 50,
Same with 59.
59
It's same
is
with
code.
And then the Charter Review Commission, that's going to be, we do have language in B. If you look at B, what that does is you can use Medium to publish stuff. any medium that's available to residents. Instead of having said it gotta be in the newspaper. When you have the charter review commission, that when you guys give notice that you can give notice, you can publish it in the report that you got to report. It can also be in a medium that's accessible to residents.
Entertain a motion to accept item 60 as presented.
So
So
moved.
moved.
One of y'all, which one of y'all want to second that then?
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor of said motion, let me know by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Same sign. Hearing none. Thank you. Item 61.
61, that's one that's just cleaning up the charter. So just providing for taking the language out that when this charter was submitted to the voters.
All right, entertain a motion to accept item 61 as presented.
So moved.
Sherry?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Dan. All in favor of said motion, let it be known by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none. Item passed. Is there any more?
That's it. What I need for you guys to decide based on the what we've gone through is which ones do you want to submit for an election? Other than the codification issues, which one do you want to submit for election?
If we're gonna have an election, a $10,000 election, we might as well do them all, in my opinion. If we're gonna clean it up, we might as well be the ones to do it.
Yeah.
And we know there's gonna have to be an election because of some of the items we voted on is a major change.
Yeah, it's 30, it'll be 39 propositions.
So
I'm just letting you know. I mean, it will come,
we're not gonna have to type it
Ballots.
up, you are.
and that's fine. That's what we're here to serve.
But I think we was asked to serve on this committee to review the charter. I think we've done that. I think we should do a complete job by bringing it up to date with all the changes that Art recommends and that has been changed by general laws and everybody else. If we're gonna do it, let's do it right, if y'all don't mind.
I agree with you.
To make that motion, Sherry.
I move.
And
I'll second that.
And we got 2 seconds, and a second and a third if we need to. Okay, all in favor of approving all of these 39 items, she said, I didn't count them, that we voted on to send to the city council to vote on themselves, to possibility of sending it to the citizens of Katy to vote on, let it be known by saying aye.
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 No opposed. Okay. So when do we get our paycheck?
But what's going to happen? What's going to
Already
happen
got mine.
this is what's going to happen. We're gonna pull all those things together. Becky's going to pull all of what you've gone through, pull them together. It's going to be separated. The ones that were form in nature that are there that you don't have to vote on. All of those that you're recommending for a vote. That's going to be the part that's in your council report. It's going to say, these are the ones that you're recommending that council submit to the public. And then that's your report. Skip, you will sign your report.
But we don't have to tell them, or should we tell them in another paragraph of all the different ones we're gonna change because that through the codification you're saying?
Yes, but
We're
they
gonna surprise them when it's done up.
Yeah, they will see that what you see in front of you today that you're working on, that's exactly what the council's going to get. That's
Okay,
going to be your report. So they'll be able to see all of those that says just the strikeouts down at the bottom. We're going to show them that also. So what you'll see there, these are the ones that you have that have the actual changes in it. Then they'll be able to see the ones where it's just the form that are being changed.
so you changing them to black because they've been approved?
Yes.
Okay, All right,
As we were going through, I only pulled those amendments that y'all approved into this report. And since y'all are taking all of them, I am finalizing my numbering.
okay.
Right, and then.
Because
and
we
then-
didn't have to change the number because we went back and approved the number 7, right? Okay,
Yes, yes. And then what will happen is that in your report, it'll have these are the ones you're recommending changes for. Then the ones that it'll come after that, the next section will be the ones that the codifier will send to the codifier
okay,
for them to change. And
okay.
then that'll be it.
Well, Becky, we certainly want to thank you for all your help in this, and Kathy Joe, I think she's gone. We want to thank her, and thank
She's in here.
Sherry and Dan and Mike and Joanne for the time y'all spent on this. I think, it only happens every 4 years, and hopefully the next 4 years, whoever does it then will have an easy job, because I think
Yeah,
we've done a lot of stuff.
they will have a much easier
Thank y'all
job.
for serving, and I thank the mayor. Will thank y'all also.
Yeah.
And
And-
Lord, I guess you did something too, so I guess we should thank you also.
He's the only one that got paid.
Yeah, but one thing I just want to apologize for last week. I don't know how we got that mixed up. What I like to blame it on is that I was hustling last week trying to find some way to get and get that COVID vaccine, and so I ended up going to Dallas to get it last Wednesday. So I think that's what kind of threw off my schedule and threw off everything. So but
You
I'm
had to
glad
go
we
out
were
of the
able to
county
get
to
it.
get your vaccine?
I went to Lancaster, Texas. I went to Lancaster to get it. So
See, I don't have to
Sorry.
get one till April.
yeah, see, I couldn't get on the list. And some of my cities are meeting in person. So I'm exposed all the time. And so
Yeah,
I-
especially dealing with
need to-
city people.
yeah.
All right, is there anything else?
Yeah, when do we need to make when do we need to go to council on this?
This is going Thursday. So you need to appear Friday, isn't
Friday.
it, Becky?
It'll go
Friday, so
Friday to a special meeting at 4:30.
Friday?
Yeah, Friday.
Friday.
You will
Friday
get
at 4:30.
you'll get this report. You'll get a copy of this report here the next day or so. Hopefully by tomorrow mid-noon, you'll get a copy of this report, and that's what's going to be submitted to council.
Will council get to see the before and the after?
Yes.
If you would like,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. They're gonna see the strike throughs. They're gonna see that.
Okay. So will we be invited to the council meeting, or should we show up anyway, or will we be able to participate in any way or not?
You can.
Because most
yes,
council, really, you can't talk.
No. You will be invited, and you are invited, and you're requested to participate, to give
Okay.
your comments, your concerns, what you went through, what you would like for them to do. You're invited and encouraged for each and every one of you to participate in that discussion.
And that's this Friday?
Yes.
I will be unable to attend.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we're up against a statutory deadline to call our regular election and our bond election. And so with the language translation requirements, we're taking it all at the same time.
Okay, Art, normally a letter is written to the councilman. You gonna write that letter for us?
It's right there on your screen.
Oh,
I already wrote it for you.
It's already
looks
there.
good to me.
Here to serve, Skip.
Okay, I'll sign that. Who signs it? Oh, I do. Okay. I didn't even have to sign it.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate y'all's work on this. Thank y'all. Oh, Byron, you're back on. Thank you too for your input.
You bet.
It was very helpful in certain areas.
You too, Skip. You too,
Yeah.
Skip.
Pardon?
You too. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
You're
I
my
love it.
favorite parliamentarian.
Yeah.
Well, you know, sometimes you just gotta push a little bit. Okay, 5 o'clock
Alright.
somewheres.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll
y'all
see y'all
Friday at
somewhere Friday. So, Sherry, you be careful wherever you go and whatever you're doing, okay?
Don't we, yeah.
All right.
We'll still be in touch. Thank everyone, and you still just need your motion to adjourn.
Sherry, make
Motion,
a motion to
make a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Is Dan on?
Still here.
Well, how about second that motion?
Hey, second.
All right. All in favor said motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, you can stay online as long as you want. The rest of us are gone. Motion passed.
See y'all later.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
I'll take
Thank
care.
you.